All right, the drivers have begun to line up. Let's take a look at our starting grid. Up front will be Mark Nelson and Mike Smith. Kevin Reed and Eric Stoy on the second row. Kyle Holden and AJ Godsey and Kyle Holden on the third row. Richie West, Jared Heasley on the fourth. Brandon Springer and Jeff Hinkle rounding out the top 10. Rick Sargent and William Mann Sr. 11th and 12th. James Lee, Jacob Springer 13th and 14th. Albie Hewins and Gerald Thanos Poole 15th and 16th. Aaron Mason and Gorman 17th and 18th. Joe Gregory and Wild Bill Percy rounding out the top 20. Nick Marco, Brian Oshinska, John Schmidt rounding out the cars on track. Topher Baltimore in race control along with the First Lady of BRR. Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel out there getting ready to help try and keep these gentlemen under control. If you have a favorite driver in the field, don't forget to drop in the comments. Let them know you're cheering for them. Make sure to hit like, hit share, hit follow, and if you're so inclined, hit that subscriber button. Help support the channel as we continue to grow and grow quickly. The drivers begin to roll off pit road. All the drivers fire, get rolling very quickly here tonight. 23 drivers in the field. 80 laps around this 2.5 mile famed tri-oval track. And of course, the threat of the big one is looming over the whole event. There is always that possibility. They will have a fast repair, but these guys have to be careful in the early going. Great to see Mike Smith back out here. Awesome to see him starting this race on the front row after missing pretty much all of last season. A bit heartbreaking, and Mark Dantuma not here tonight, but look forward to seeing him back next week, and glad he was okay in Florida last week. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. BRR's new season is underway at Daytona. It'll take a lap and a half before these cars hit max speed. Some drivers will try and make a move through the field early. Wow. Really fast out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Everybody's still packed up. It looks like we do have a second pack back here. Looks like led by Aaron Mason, falling off the back intentionally, just trying to keep their cars safe for the first part of this race. Oh, hey, Eric Stoy way up by the wall here. That second pack has really dropped back trying to play it safe. Aaron Mason leading that pack there, almost 2 seconds behind Albie Hewins, who is right in the middle, and look at Albie there in the Superman car. And of course, if you've been watching, you know Albie Hewan's one of the drivers in XCal, looking to have a little luck here tonight. No change up front. Mark Nelson still leads. Now Kevin Reed into second. AJ Godsey into third. Mike Smith in fourth, up on the high side. Richie West and Eric Stoy side by side. The top 15 out there alone from 16th back to 23rd, sitting back there riding along now as well. Mike Smith has gotten a run on the high side with a push from AJ Godsey. No, excuse me, from Eric Stoy. Eric has pushed Mike Smith to the lead. Mike leads that lap. Great to see Mike back out front. Eric Stoy now in second. That outside line already building a lot of momentum. 5 cars deep. Jared Heasley bringing up the 4th car on the high line. A lot of drivers out here could easily pull off the win here tonight. It is kind of a crapshoot until we get down to the final laps. And just a huge shout out as well, Brian Oshinska hopping in and giving Bill Percy a hand here. Earlier tonight we were working on a computer issue with Bill. When I went live, Brian took over. Great guy. Always appreciate his help. Brian in a Fritos car tonight. Joe Gregory out here as well in the Code Red Mountain Dew car. Whoa, who is that at the back? Was that John Schmidt slinging the car all over the place? And Albie Hewins, who was sitting between both of those groups, has dropped back to the back of the second group. Garmin has lost the draft. No idea what has happened with Garmy, but he has lost the draft, and now Albie Hewins is the last car in a draft pack. Albie hanging out at the back, trying to play it safe here early on. A lot of bobbling on that outside line right now. As these drivers try and work some grip in, of course they're having to move around just a little bit to make sure that they don't overheat the car. See Eric Stoy peeking the nose low, going down the front straightaway. Oh, gets into the back bumper of Mike Smith. Mike gets a little squirrely, but holds on to it. Now Mark Nelson on the high side, going back to the lead. That high line, so far, it doesn't take much to build some momentum up top here tonight. A little bit of a blink out of Mike Smith. Probably not the thing you want from the guy leading the pack at Daytona. Looks like it was just the one time, though. Heasley in the MS car trying to find a way to get himself up to the front. AJ Godsey in 7th. Rick Sargent in 8th. Richie West 9th. Brandon Springer back in 10th. Wow, power move by William Mann Sr. jumps to the high side. We will have to talk to Brandon Springer about the Hannah Montana car later. I'm hoping that was on a dare. Caleb, I have to agree, although it's a bit surprising to see that outside line having as much momentum as it has early on. It usually takes quite a bit of time for that outside line to be built up. But man, these cars seem to really like being out there by the wall. Last season's champion AJ Gotzi in the 5-car, mid-pack here early. Brandon Springer now connected with Jacob Springer. Jeff Hinkle leading another group just off the back here. That group currently sitting 2.5 seconds behind the lead pack. Aaron Mason currently running in 15th. Gerald Thanos Poole sitting in 16th. Expect him to be up in this fight before the end of the night. As we've mentioned in the past, when Thanos is at a plate track, he is always a tough one to beat. I've seen him win at a plate track in just about every kind of car you can imagine, from an MX-5 to an SR8 and all the way up to these cup cars and everything in between. Mark Nelson back up in the lead out front. A 3-car breakaway actually a 4-car breakaway. Rick Sargent is still in that draft. Mike Smith now up on the high line trying to catch back up. They're 2 wide back behind his teammates Eric Stoy and AJ Gotzi are side by side. Eric lets AJ back up into the front. Unusual to see a breakaway at Daytona, but here you go. 5 cars out front. They have a 1.5 second lead over the pack behind. The pack behind is bigger and could catch back up if they can get single file and work together. Looking back to see, it looks like we've got about 3 groups going on at the moment. John Schmidt definitely struggling a bit here in this new car tonight. He's been slinging that car everywhere. Rick Sargent now drops to the bottom and lets Michael Smith come by. Mike now up into 4th, Rick back into 5th. And that group back behind has managed to work together. They are under a second behind the leaders now. Eric Stoy back in 7th, Richie West in 8th. Kyle Holden in 9th, William Mann Sr. in 10th. Where is William Mann Jr. tonight? Brandon Springer 11th, Jacob Springer in 12th. Oh, looked like Brandon might have had a little bobble off turn 4 there. Everybody keeps going. Everybody playing it fairly safe here in the early going. Pretty much single file throughout the field. Jeff Hinkle up top, just dropping to the back of the pack. Mark Nelson, Kevin Reed, Jared Heasley, and now that second group is caught back up. They are bigger and they are coming through. Heasley drops down to the bottom line to take advantage of that bigger group. AJ bumping him down the front straightaway. Can the MS car get to the lead here? And Jared Heasley gets the nose out front. The MS Society car goes to the lead for the first time tonight. William Mann Sr., meanwhile, is cutting his way through the field here tonight. He is now up into 8th place and has the fastest lap of the night so far. Jared getting his first officially scored lap in the lead, and it is awesome seeing that MS Society car up front. And I would expect to see some breast cancer awareness cars. Since October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I would expect to see a few of those cars as well before the month is out. So be looking for that as well. Mid-pack, seeing a couple of guys trying to get most of the pack is single file on the bottom. It looks like a couple of guys thinking about making a move up top. Mark Nelson up top has a little help from Kevin Reed. Everybody's saying that coming into tonight, what I heard a lot was it takes at least 3 drivers to get that outside line moving. Richie West now up here in the top 5. John Schmidt has gone off track. Something has happened to him on coming out of turn 4. Oh, he gets loose off of 4, hits that inside safer barrier. Looks like he tried to get it saved, just couldn't get her reared down. AJ Godsey, the defending champion, goes to the lead for the first time. Got help from behind from his teammate Eric Stoy at the moment. One of the rookies, James Lee, in the 43 car, looking to make his mark on BRR here tonight. Albie Hewins has lost the draft, as has David Garman. In fact, I do believe Garman is about to get lapped here. As here comes the pack. And it's getting a little exciting in that pack as well. Eric Stoy and AJ Godsey working together to keep those 2 cars out at the front. Now they have to contend with the Ford of David Garman. Getting word from Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel, that William Mann Jr., it was actually at the Charlotte Roval today watching the race. That's literally what she said. Awesome to have 2 people in race control this season as well. Got Topher and Nicole in race control, and ought to help things out quite a bit, and plus Nicole can tell everybody how to do it. Kevin Reed stuck up on the high side with no help. Oh, he slides back down in front of Mark Nelson. Looked like Garman tried to hop into the draft right behind Kevin to get himself back up there. Now Garman just holding on. Mike Smith opening a gap for Garmin to get back into. Brandon Springer leading that second group, 2 seconds back. That is 9th place Brandon Springer, Rick Sargent in 10th, James Lee in 11th. William Mann Sr. in 12th, losing touch with that group. Aaron Mason and crew should catch up before too much longer. AJ continuing to lead the field around. Bill Percy has gone to pit road. And it appears Bill may be out of the race. Brandon Springer and crew losing ground to that lead pack. They are now 2.4 seconds back. Mike Smith's crew has picked up. It looks like Albie Hewins. Albie now a lap down. Meanwhile, the top 8 cars stand single file with some lap cars mixed in here. Looks like Eric Stoy dropping down low to get some air over the nose of that car, cool the engine down just a little bit. William Mann Sr. leading a group towards the back, but looks like Aaron Mason's going to come by. Sr. dropping back a little bit. Gerald Thanos Poole in that group. Brian Oshinska, Joe Gregory, Nick Marco. Jacob Springer is back there. William Mann Sr., Jeff Hinkle also back there. Jeff Hinkle was in contention all the last season. Up front, they remain single file. Everybody seems to have settled in to a rhythm, just clicking the laps away, but things are about to get more exciting as we close in on pit stops. None of the drivers really willing to share with us how many laps they could go on fuel, but based on these cars in the past, I do believe they're going to need at least one stop here tonight. More than likely 2. Mike Smith in this lead group, one of the drivers we mentioned earlier, back after a long absence. It's great to have Mike back out on track. Seriously, Brandon. Maybe one of the kind folks in race control could find out why in the world Brandon Springer is driving a Hannah Montana car. and how much the bet was for, because that's the only good reason I can think of. Aaron Mason leading this pack from 12th on back. They're losing quite a bit of ground to the leaders right now. They're 15 seconds behind the lead pack. However, if the caution comes from that lead pack, they may be shown to be the smartest ones on track. Great to see Richie West up there, currently riding in third. Richie was one of the playoff contenders last season as well. Bill Percy officially out of the race due to computer issues. I hate to hear that. Nicole, I also watched Hannah Montana with my kids, and that is why I'm not. Oh, here we go. Pit stops begin on lap 30. AJ Godsey brings down the pack of Richie West, Eric Stoy, Kyle Holden, Mike Smith, Rick Sargent, James Lee. Brandon Springer also in. The first round of green flag stops are underway. Jared Heasley claims the lead. He's got Kevin Reed and Mark Nelson with him. The second pack, led by Aaron Mason, is on pit road as well. Likely to see this group led by Jared Heasley come down here? No. They're going to try and stretch that fuel as far as possible. First round of stops starting at lap 30. Should see final stops right around lap 60. Harley Barletta in the comments, but not in the race. A little weird not having Harley Barletta out here this season. Also, just a note for Harley Barletta, you can never have too many guitars, you can never have too many electrics, you can never have too many acoustics. And it looks like Heasley is going to lead him on to pit road, and Brandon Springer is... Brandon Springer is in. I thought he had come in once before. Mark Nelson missed pit road. That is going to hurt. Mark Nelson, another driver that was in contention all of last season, made it into the playoffs, made it down almost to the end of the playoffs, and here he is struggling in the first race of the season. It is not a good night for people named Mark. Mark Dantuma having internet issues. Now Mark Nelson missing pit road. Well, let's see if we can see what happened with Mark Nelson. Coming off of turn 4, he's back there in that pack. locks up the brakes, didn't realize they were coming, and ends up in the grass. To avoid the penalty, he goes back up on the track, but man, that's going to hurt. Mark Nelson maybe out of gas on the apron. He's trying to limp it back to pit road. Mark Nelson out of gas. Let's hop in the cockpit to confirm, but Mark Nelson's car is dead in the water. What a heartbreak for a guy in the lead pack all night tonight. As AJ Godsey, they are back off pit road, and AJ Godsey reclaims the lead. Getting the push from Kyle Holden in second, Kevin Reed all the way back here in third, coming up to speed. Eric Stoy in fourth has Mike Smith. Kevin Reed will fall into this group. Brandon Springer also with this group. Mark Nelson finally makes it to pit road. Jared swings a little wide off turn 4. Jared, don't you be scratching that beautiful orange and white MS Society car. Lead pack of 2 out there all alone. They're going to get a little help from the... Oh! We've got our first wreck. Caution is out on the backstretch. William Mann Sr. is backwards. Now he's going the right way. Richie West involved. Looks like Richie moves to the outside. Just a little bobble. Couldn't even tell. Let's see if we can get a chopper view of that incident. Looks like Senior may have moved up just a hair. Richie gets clipped and they both go off track. All the drivers having just been to pit road, none of them, I'd imagine we see all of them on pit road to top off on fuel. Don't know that we'll see any tire changes here, but this brings the entire pack back together. And at the moment, it looks like David Garman will get waved around. So Garmy will be back on the lead lap. Let's see if they hit pit road, and then we'll talk to a few of the drivers. Yep, it looks like we're going to get all the lead lap cars onto pit road. Not all of them. Kevin Reed choosing to stay out. We'll see if we can get a quick word with Kevin. Hey, Kevin, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, what's up, Doug?
Hey, you threw me for a loop with the paint scheme, buddy.
Yeah, I kind of heard that. I got yelled at once already.
All right, well, you did not come to pit road this time. Obviously, you're going to have to pit one more time for fuel. So are you just going for the track position move here?
At this point, I want to stay up front. If I stay up here, I'm betting something else is going to happen before, end of this thing. So hopefully I can get some advantage from that.
Well, I hope so, man. It's looking like a great race for you so far, and you've been playing it fairly safe early on.
Trying not to kill anybody, including myself.
Well, good luck, and just remember, the hoods of the cars are not ramps.
You're not in here, so we're safe.
All right, man. Good luck,
All
buddy.
right, buddy. Thanks.
Okay, Kevin Reed, obviously, probably going to be back in a Finelli Ironworks car next week, it sounds like. All right, pit stops look like they're about done. Brandon Springer is out there. Let's see if we can get a word with the driver of the 61. Hey, Brandon, it's Doug in the booth. You got me?
What's up, Doug?
Hey, man, looks like you're having an up-and-down kind of race tonight. It looked like you hit pit road twice under green flag.
Yeah, I forgot to put gas in the car. That was dumb. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't remember taking it off, but yeah, I had to go in twice.
It was kind of the best of both worlds there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, how much is the bet for you to drive that car?
I don't know. I was like, this is. I was looking. I was like, this is the craziest car in paint schemes. I wanted something funny.
Please find something else. I'm having nightmares. Go back to the peanut butter car if you have to, but just get out of the Hannah Montana ride, dude.
Okay.
Good luck, Brandon.
Yeah.
All right. Brandon Springer currently the first car 1 lap down. I do, but let me double check that. But I do believe, yes, Brandon Springer is the first car 1 lap down. Garmin did get the wave around. He's on his way to the tail end of the lead lap. Good evening, Richie. How's it going, buddy? And it looks like Kevin Reed and AJ Godsey will start on the front row. Heasley and Holden on the second row. Eric Stoy, Rick Surgeon on the third. Mike Smith, Gerald Thanos Poole on the fourth row. Aaron Mason and Brian Oshinska rounding out the top 10. And I told y'all early on, watch that 3-car of Gerald Thanos Poole. Hey, it's a 3-car at Daytona, and it is Thanos. Anything could happen here. Drivers all getting set for the restart, waiting for the pace car. What in the world? Looks like everybody had a moment there coming out of 4 as they settle in, and the pace car did a little drift. Did anybody else see the pace car drifting there? Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Jared Heasley quickly moving to the bottom line, but as we saw earlier, that reason on the start of the race, if that high line works together, it is hard to beat. Now AJ drops down into the bottom line. Down the back straightaway they come. Rick Sargent hung out to dry up top in the Heineken car. Gerald Poole hops to the high side. He's got a little bit of help. He's got Aaron Mason with him. Rick Sargent is up there as well. Watch for this group to start moving forward. Kevin Reed to the lead for the first time tonight under green flag conditions. Kyle Holden in second, Jared Heasley in third, the whole pack together again. Garmin sits back in 13th after getting his lap back. He is trying to make his way forward. William Mann comes up the track, pulls it down, loses some momentum there. At bottom line having to check up. Now Garmin's got to run. And that 3-car group led by Brian Oshinska, and you see in the middle there is Mark Nelson. Mark a couple laps down after missing pit road and running out of fuel. He's got to fight to get his way back to the lead. Richie Joplin, that sounds kind of ominous, buddy. I hope everything's okay. Kevin Reed out front at the moment. William Mann has crashed. John Schmidt has crashed. No caution yet. They both ended up crashing. Holy cow! William Mann Sr., oh wow! Let's back it up a little bit and see what the heck happened here. John Schmidt on the high side just pulls down and comes across the nose. They both go off track. William Mann Sr., a hard lick. John Schmidt also having a hard crash. That outside line continuing to build some momentum, led by Gerald Thanos Poole. Looks like there is a driver mid-pack that is blinking quite badly. Meanwhile, Thanos up on the high side. Aaron Mason, Rick Sargent still with him. Now they've got Brian Oshinska and his line pulling up. That outside line is going to start moving. Top 5 on the bottom, single file. Now Thanos pulling his group around. They're going to come past Eric Stoy here. That outside line just needs to tighten up a little bit and they'll go to the front. Just past the halfway point in this one. Still 16 cars on the lead lap. Still 20 cars in the race. It does look like William Mann Sr. is out of the race as well, waiting to see if John Schmidt rolls back out. Sr. has officially retired from the race. Outside line still working on building up some speed here. And you know what we haven't done yet tonight? It is Daytona. Let's have a little fun. I'm going to shut up and let you all crank it up. Listen to those engines roar. And you saw it there. Sparks are flying as they come through the turns. Cars sitting as low as possible. That outside line is just not developing like it did earlier on in the race. And the inside line just staying single file, working really well together for the moment. Couldn't tell. I believe that's Mike Smith. No, that is not. It's Rick Sargent blinking mid-pack. And look at who's cracked his way into the top 10. Garmin is there. After going a lap down early on, Garmin in his triumphant return is making his way back into the top 10. Garmin's looking to make it 3 wide. Nope, slides back up to the high side. He was definitely thinking about it. Rick Sargent pushing up a little bit there, almost gets into Garmin. They keep them separated though. Kevin Reed continues to lead, and it looked like that outside line is building now. Holy cow, they come out of turn 2 with a head of steam. 30 laps left to go. They can pit here and go the distance. One more round of pit stops to be expected here in the next 10 to 15 laps. Several cars out there did not pit under that caution. And what a mess it is back here. As guys try and find their way up toward the front, a lot of moving around. These cars do not have, they have a bit more grip than the old Cup cars, but not a ton, especially when you're in the draft and the air is taken completely off your car. Sometimes you're just along for the ride. I'd imagine we'd see a lot of these cars sawing at the wheel. Let's hop into the Ford of David Garmin and see what it looks like around the track. Down the front straightaway, across the start-finish line. Down into 1 and 2, all over Brian Oshinska's back bumper, and you see just how much these cars are moving around. No grip whatsoever. Down the back straightaway, they hold fairly straight. Then they set up for corner entry into turn 3. And you see just how much they're moving up and down the track, sliding all over the place. It is controlled chaos all the way around this 2.5 mile banked oval. That top 3 really led by Kevin Reed out front have been pretty much untouchable. Kyle Holden giving Kevin a great run here tonight, just sitting behind helping. AJ Godsey has his teammate Eric Stoy right behind, though, at the moment. Jared Heasley now side by side with Thanos as Gerald Thanos Poole tries to get that outside line working again. And, of course, as we approach 20 to go, actually 25 to go here in a moment, Albie Hewins has crashed. Oh, what in the world happened there? Let's see the replay. Albie just down on the apron. It just cuts a little too much of the apron. Or, I'm sorry, that was not Albie on the bottom. That was Jacob Springer that was just clipping the apron in 3 and 4. Drifts back up the track, gets into Albie. Albie, an excellent race car driver, but has zero luck out there. That outside line started to fall apart, but Heasley's going to come up and see if he can make something happen up top. And now Thanos drops down to the bottom line. Heasley up top, losing ground here. Thanos hops back up top. I think Gerald just wants to lead the group. Just needs somebody to work with him, and he can make his way forward. And it looks like help is on the way. Here's Gorman. Heasley, massive push down the back straightaway. Now Garmy is there. They've got Rick Sargent pulling up from behind as well. 25 laps to go. Things will start. He knows. It's getting a little dicey mid-pack. Thanos stuck in the middle. Aaron Mason comes up. Thanos getting squeezed here. Garmin way up by the wall now. And Garmin touches the wall. Garmin just giving the wall a little kiss. They come off turn 2, 3 wide. These cars not being planted, and when they're side by side 3 wide, now it clears. Gerald can get down to the bottom. Now Garmin's going to be able to slip back in line, but they both lost a ton of ground here. And Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel's picked to win this one. Currently running in 6th. Jeff Hinkle just quietly riding out tonight. But remember, all these drivers have to make one more pit stop. Kevin Reed has been out front since the caution on lap 36. He's going to have some help to hit pit road, and he's 4 laps, has 4 laps less of fuel than these other drivers behind him. All of that group pitted on lap 36 except for Kevin Reed. Now Jared Heasley at the back of this lead group. Aaron Mason leading the second group. They are 2.5 seconds back and losing ground as they continue to battle. Thanos jumps up to the high side with help from Garmin. Trying to get something going to get back up to the lead pack here. Rick Sargent blinking and a little weave on there. Thanos running that new Kings of Thrash paint scheme here tonight. Kings of Thrash, a group put together by a bunch of the ex-members of Megadeth. They're going on tour and can't wait to see it. And Jeff Young, if you're watching, buddy, still want you to come to Northwest Arkansas. My youngest would really like to see you guys. As would I. That lead pack starting to split up a little bit as they come past some lap traffic. Albie Ewan still sitting on pit road for repairs. Oh, it gets a little sketchy up there as Jacob Springer and Richie West are the first 2 to come to pit road. Kevin Reed should need to pit in the next 2 to 3 laps. Will he have any help is the question. Richie West, Jacob Springer working their way off pit road now. Kyle Holden still pushing in second, AJ Godsey in third. And Kevin Reed has been leading this pack using more fuel. That's allowing all the drivers back behind him who pitted 4 laps later and 4 laps more fuel to also sit in the draft and save fuel. Will they be willing to help him on pit road is the question. If he ends up having to pit alone, Kevin Reed could be in trouble here. Here comes Kevin Reed. No, nobody comes with him. He hops back up on track. Does he have the fuel to make it back around? It's got to be a little worrisome for the drivers behind him. If he suddenly loses power due to no fuel, he could cause the big one. With the pack really starting to split apart here, though, tonight, we may not see a big one. All right, here they come. Does Kevin come down? Not yet. Nobody comes. Still 14 cars on the lead lap, and of course Brandon Springer and Richie West, or I'm sorry, Jacob Springer and Richie West have already pitted. Kevin Reed brings them back around. It'll be 16 to go. When do they pit? Here we go. Kevin Reed is down on the apron. And he's gonna... No, nobody comes. Reed pits alone. Looked like he was gonna get some help, but nobody came with him. So now Kyle Holden goes to the lead for the first time tonight. Gerald Poole has worked his way back up into this second group, as has David Garman. After that wild battle they have, but this second group currently over 5.5 seconds behind. And the lead group just staying single file. Kevin Reed on his way off pit road. All alone, he'll have no drafting help for the moment. Kevin Reed has nobody close behind, so he is all alone. That lead group will be able to catch back up to him very quickly. Unless, no, here they come to pit road. They fan out as they hit pit road. Now the second group goes back by. Aaron Mason goes to the lead for the first time tonight. And look who's in second place, David Garman. Brian Oshinska now in third, and look who's lurking in fourth. It is Thanos. They've got the lap car of Richie West in that group as well, and the lap car of Mark Nelson. Do we see them all come down this time? Here they go! Garman and Aaron Mason almost have a problem getting down to pit road. Did Garmin get any damage out of that is the question. Does not appear to be. Kyle Holden currently gonna come back around and to reclaim the lead. But he is 3.5 seconds ahead of Jared Heasley. This could get interesting, folks, as the field spreads out. They're going to have to reform into packs. There's big gaps between several of the drivers. And when the pack behind forms and starts coming for Kyle Holden, he is going to get past quickly. Looks like Eric Stoy and Mike Smith are hooked up, running down Jared Heasley. Aaron Mason now up into 5th place. He's got to hook up with a couple more drivers here. AJ Godsey and Jeff Hinkle. This may come down to which group can work together the best to make up the most ground in the shortest amount of time. Kevin Reed now back with Rick Sargent, Brian Oshinska, Gerald Poole. That is 8th through 11th. And the biggest pack on track right now as well. They are 2.3 seconds, or 2.25 seconds behind Aaron Mason in 7th place, and they are gaining quickly. Take a look from the inside of Kevin Reed's car as he comes out of turn 4, and you see the closing rate. They continue to just chip away at that group. Once they connect, they'll have a 7-car group that can charge up toward the leaders. Jared Heasley has claimed the lead. Kyle Holden quickly caught by Jared Heasley, Mike Smith, and Eric Stoy. Jared's going to come around here and get 10 to go. Hey, thank you, Joseph, for the stars. Nicole Creasel cheering on Jeff Hinkle. Jeff currently sits back in 6th place behind AJ Godsey. This 3-car group 3 seconds back from the lead pack, trying to pick up some momentum. Kevin Reed leads another 4-car pack as they close in. Now 1.8 seconds back from Aaron Mason in 7th place. 9 laps to go. There you see the 3 distinct lead packs. Garmin back in 12th place now, following Mark Nelson. Garmin 13 seconds behind Gerald Poole in this 3rd group. Eight laps to go, still very much anybody's race. Especially with cars coming off pit road and the leaders catching up to lap traffic very quickly. Looks like Nick Marco down on the bottom trying to get hooked up with the... Oh my gosh! What in the world just happened? Jacob Springer has a little bobble. Looked like Mike Smith just tried to stay out of trouble and gets loose off 4. And that was definitely the situation this pack was looking for. That front 4 had really been working well together, but now AJ Godsey's group is regaining on the leaders. They settle back down into line. Six laps to go. Expect things to heat up in the next few laps. AJ Godsey and crew now down to about 2.5 seconds back, but that gap has stagnated. However, they're about to get a lot of help in the form of Kevin Reed's 4-car group. Kevin Reed jumps to the high side. His group bringing a lot of momentum. Rick Sargent jumps up. Kevin Reed gets hung out to dry up top. He's going to drop back into about 10th place. Heasley still out front, the lead pack. Still 3 seconds ahead. Now they have regained some momentum and have continued to open the gap up. This second group now 3.25 seconds back. As they get 5 to go here. A 4-car lead draft. 3.25 seconds ahead of a second pack with 7 lead lap cars in it. And a couple of lap cars mixed in. Caution! Looks like there might have been an incident with Kevin Reed. Kevin up on the high side, Aaron Mason down on the bottom. I stand corrected. It looks like there was an incident with Kevin Reed and Gerald Thanos Poole. And this changes the complexion of the end of this one. Here they were down the back straightaway, side by side. Down the front straightaway, Gerald down almost to the apron here. Oh, looks like Kevin just tried to come down, thought he was clear. Clips Gerald, sends him around. Gerald ends up having to tow to pit road. And we will go to a green-white checkered finish here. Do believe Joe Gregory will end up being the lucky dog on this one. That'll put roughly 12 cars back on the lead lap. Joe Gregory does get waved around the pack. Now it's a green-white checkered finish. It's going to be a dogfight here. Let's see if we can get a word with one of the returning drivers, Mike Smith. Hey, Mike, it's Doug. You got me?
What's going on, my friend? How we doing, bud?
Hey, good. Glad to see you back out on track, and you're having an awesome race here tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's been a good race. It's been fun.
The new car, and you haven't had a lot of practice, not a lot of seat time in recent months. So how are you feeling about this new car?
I actually love this new car. I've done a few of the official races in it, so I really like it. It's pretty durable and it's fun to drive. So I feel like I'm sitting in a pretty good seat right here, and I think I'm going to push Eric to the front, or we're going to wreck trying.
So not going for the win, just trying to help somebody else out.
Well, I got to get him out of my way somehow. So I got to get him to the front and then battle him for the win.
All right, man. Good luck. Great to see you. And hopefully your return to BRR is with a win.
Let's hope for it. Thanks, Doug.
Mike Smith currently sits in 4th place. Jared Heasley continuing to lead as the lights go out on the pace car. It'll be Heasley and Eric Stoy on the front row. Kyle Holden and Mike Smith have the second row. AJ Godsey and Jeff Hinkle on the third row. Aaron Mason and Rick Surgeon on the fourth row. Brian Oshinska, David Garment rounding out the top 10. Kevin Reed, Joe Gregory, the last two cars on the lead lap. Gerald Poole is still on pit road. Looks like he is done for the night. I think this thing is about to get a little spicy here. "12 cars still in the lead lap, all of them still in contention. And remember, these cars will barely be at full speed when they come across and get the checkers, so things are going to get very interesting, and it may come down to who has the best timed shifts on this restart. Pace car about to drop in. Here he comes. Pace car is on pit road. Jared Heasley controls the restart. He fires. Green is in the air. Down into turn one. No big moves yet. Remember, the big one is still lurking, and with this group, it's possible. It was 3 wide briefly back at the back of the pack. Down the back straightaway, and it looks like Eric Stoy up top has got help from Mike Smith. Heasley and Holden break away. They battle side by side, back behind. AJ Godsey pulls up in third. White flag in the air. Kyle Holden gives Jared a good push into 1 and 2. AJ pulls up. Aaron Mason from nowhere. Brian Oshinska's in the top 5. They're snaking down the back straightaway. Oshinska moves up the track. He takes the outside line. Into 3 and 4. Heasley still in the lead. When does Holden make a move? Out of turn 4. Moves happening behind. Can Jared block them all? He does it! Jared Heasley wins at Daytona! Awesome to see the MS Society car in victory lane. What a race. What a finish. AJ Gotze comes home second. Aaron Mason comes from way behind to finish third. And let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with Aaron Mason. Hey, Aaron, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, what's up, Doug?
Man, you just kind of hung out for most of the race and showed up when it counted.
Yeah, the group of us down here, we decided to stick together and just play nice and team up with everything, and just kind of worked out in the end. It kind of stuck when Gerald got in that accident. It kind of took us down to 2, and it just worked out in our favor in the end.
Well, man, it definitely did work out in the favor. Started in 17th, come home with a podium in the first race of the season, and what a comeback it was on that green-white checkered.
Yeah, it definitely makes up after the truck race last night.
Well, congratulations, man. An awesome, awesome run.
Thanks, man.
All right, AJ Gotze comes home in second. AJ, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug.
Hey, that was an exciting race for some, but it looked almost boring from where you were sitting until that green-white checkered. You just kind of rode most of the night.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was staying pretty patient, single file, so no reason to push the issue too early. Everybody seemed to stay in their groups and pit together, so it was just pretty much strategy all race.
Man, it looked like you tried to make a move out of 4, just did not have the momentum. What more did you need there?
Well, I was kind of figuring Kyle was going to make one, and then I seen he was staying low, so coming out of 4, I said, screw it, I ain't going to ride. I just went for it.
Well, man, it was an awesome, awesome start to the season, especially as the defending champion. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
And Jared Heasley is the winner, and I have to say it's the first time I've ever been happy to see a Toyota in victory lane.
You grabbed the wrong guy, Jeff.
I did. Jared, I have to say it's the first time I've ever been happy to see a Toyota in victory lane.
Hey, me too, Doug. It was a great push from Kyle behind me, and I just had to keep him back. Run with AJ. I was a little worried, but man, it's cool to win at Daytona.
It is cool, and man, it was so awesome seeing you out front. And once you got there, pretty much we saw that outside line really strong in the early going, but they kept trying to form and just never could get a run that second half of the race.
Yeah, kind of got spread out, kind of boring there. So, but we had a caution there, and it got us all bunched together. Not what I wanted to see, you know. And luckily, they didn't have enough of a push, but you know, they had enough that it made me nervous. But you know, it was fun.
Did you know Kyle was going to stay on your bumper to the checkers?
No, I don't think so. Once AJ jumped up, I was like, all right, I got a great push behind me. I've worked with Kyle before in multiple leagues, so I'm confident. But AJ, I was definitely worried about. Eric was up there for a while. I was definitely worried those guys were going to run. And he tried. I just came up a little bit to try to cut him off, and it worked out.
Well, man, I got to say, it is beautiful to see that MS Society car in victory lane. Congratulations. What a way to start the season.
Yeah, it's great to be the points leader for the first time in a long time. Start the season off right and see if we can go to the playoffs.
Well, you better get that MS Society into victory lane a lot more this season.
That's right. We'll see what we can do.
Congrats, buddy.
Yep.
Man, it is awesome, awesome, awesome to see the MS Society car in victory lane. Congratulations to Jared Heasley. And everybody had an awesome race. What a great way to start the season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So happy the way this race turned out. It was an awesome night of racing. Don't forget to come back tomorrow night for Jones BS Racing League, and the Jones BS Little League starts tomorrow night. You're not going to want to miss a minute of that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great night.